As Ukrainians hold the Russian invaders back, it is worth reminding the world that this is not the first time the blood of Central and Eastern Europeans is being spilled to contain Russia. Just over a century ago, as World War I came to an end and stability returned in Western Europe, in the East a conflict was brewing with a new enemy. Having taken and consolidated their power in Russia, the Bolsheviks were set on spreading communist totalitarianism. The Red Army marched west. The greatest opponent standing in the Russians' way was a newly independent and fiercely patriotic Poland. In the spring of 1920, Marshal Joseph Piłsudski offered Poland's help to Ukrainian leader Ataman Szymon Petlura, who was fighting the Bolsheviks whilst attempting to create an independent Ukraine. In April of that year, the Poles, supported by Petlura's growing forces, launched an offensive to the east and freed a large part of Ukraine. On the 9th of May 1920, the Polish-Ukrainian forces held a joint military victory parade in the liberated city of Kyiv. Unfortunately, Ukrainian freedom was short-lived. The numerically superior Bolshevik army launched a furious and rapid counteroffensive. By mid-August of 1920, the Red Army stood at the outskirts of the Polish capital, Warsaw. The Poles rallied and prepared to defend their capital. And against all odds, on the 15th of August, the Poles stopped the Bolshevik horde and pushed them back in a brilliant counteroffensive. The Polish victory halted the Russian advance to the west. Whilst Warsaw defended itself several hundred kilometers away, the dwindling Ukrainian units of Ataman Petlura valiantly continued their desperate struggle. Unfortunately, despite Poland's help, Petlura was defeated. His last remaining soldiers found refuge in Poland. Ukraine fell under the Russian boot and was turned into a Soviet republic just a year later. The blood shed by Polish and Ukrainian soldiers in 1920 on the outskirts of Kyiv and Warsaw must not be forgotten. We stand together today just as we did then, because the dreams and hopes of Marshal Piłsudski and Ataman Petlura